Went through. I have many days like that.
Yeah.
So,
ain't life like that sometimes?
No, it sure seems to be. It sure seems to be. So, where are we now? Where are we? Are we here? Are we in this moment?
This moment, the only moment that's available to us, is a wonderful moment. I think a lot of people have the sense of here and now as being this obligatory, okay, am I here now? Am I here enough now? Is this now enough? And the whole point is that it's about how wonderful it is to be alive. You know? And you only realize that now. It's the only opportunity you ever have. Gosh.
And now, in Buddhism, do they delve much into the importance of love and compassion and the emotions moving into heart-centered activities?
I would say that wisdom and compassion are like twin wings of a single bird.
Mm-hmm.
And that so we've been talking about karma and the interconnectedness of all things and impermanence and change and so forth, which are all aspects of Buddhist wisdom. And when one has any of these insights in one's own life, one can't help but soften one's heart and open one's heart just a little bit more. It's the recognition that if this is the way things are, interconnected, impermanent, embracing all of the universe and a wonderful opportunity, one recognizes that it's bound up with everyone else's happiness too. So, yeah, it has to do with love. I mean, it very much is love. Not in necessarily the sense of the romantic setup for failure.
Right.
Again and again. Yet again.
Right. That does seem to be the case with that.
I've been there, done that.
Yes, ditto.
You know, if the Buddha said, if you knew what I knew about the nature of reality, you would give food from your plate every time you ate. That generosity is one of the most fulfilling things we can do. In that generosity, it's not, I have so much on my plate that I can give some to you. You know,
right.
Which is the kind of, look at me, I've got so much kind of sense of charity. Charity in Greek means another word for love.
Okay.
It's that, or look at you, you need this here.
Right.
I'm gonna kneel down to you because you need this. Let me give you this, tract or whatever. I think it's in that act of giving there becomes a moment that it transcends the gift, the person being given to, and the giver. Yeah. And it's generosity. It's just the boundless cornucopia of life's abundance.
Yeah.
And to be a part of that is good,
Yeah.
And so that's love. That's part of love. It's generosity. It's being kind. It's, it's compassion. It's very much part of the Buddhist way. And so I say that it includes ethical guidelines. They aren't any different than the ethical guidelines you find in organized religion, for example. But what's interesting is the emphasis is a different shift in that they come from our own first-person awareness rather than, oh, you should do this because it says so here. Mm-hmm. You know, it's very much experiential. So it's more, it's a different kind of political shift, I guess.
Well, of course, we certainly don't have many models for that in the world. You know, with Wall Street and the corruption and the corporations we're basically running the world today. It seems to be a you know, grab all you can and take your neighbors with you, and you know, and your neighbors' neighbors along with it. So apparently,
yes and no. You know, if the Buddhist teaching is one teaching, and that is about the nature of needless suffering and liberation from needless suffering, because the recognition of needless suffering is practically includes the liberation. It depends which side of the equation you emphasize, and we tend to emphasize the greed, the fear, the ignorance, the poisons, whereas I think that we're back to this thing about the happiness revolution. We're discovering that if you step aside from the media, where if it bleeds, it leads, you know, sex sells, cynicism is good. If you step aside from those poisons of mainstream media and such, I think you'll find that we're living in an incredible time of not just hope, but of positive movements and actions. I can think of,
I agree with you.
I can think of two recent books. The most recent is by Rebecca Solnit, which is about this. A more recent, also one this year, Paul Hawken.
I haven't heard of either.
Hawken, Solnit, Solnit. I can put these up, by the way, on the Yahoo group for the people that listen that are part of the conference. Yeah, but I think we're living, like Paul Hawken says, that, you know, he did a study, and he discovered that there has never been in human history as many different organized groups for positive social change as today. And it is occurring under the radar of the politicians and the media.
Yep, absolutely.
Because it's bottom up and grassroots, and there isn't some kind of like Democratic Party or consumer base that it can be, you know, aggregated by.
Right. You're absolutely right about that. I see that happening too.
Great.
Yeah, and it does seem that there are small groups and large groups coming together to with some amazingly creative solutions to some of life's problems.
I think it's the coming together that maybe that 2012 may be about.
Yeah.
Because I think that up until now, there have just been all these different groups, and it's like they're just in this stream. People are starting to look around and say, who else is there next to us?
Right.
Who is, you know, who's over there? Who's over there?
Yeah.
Oh, you here too? You doing this too?
Yeah, I like.
Oh, well, you know, it would be easier if you and I got together.
Yeah, absolutely.
It wouldn't be as heavy to lift. You get this corner, I'll get this corner. Oh, it's easy.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I mean, and in times of uncertainty such as today, and in times certainly of upheaval as today, it isn't that there is more suffering than ever before. I think suffering is like this constant factor, like, you know, there's oxygen. Yeah. But we become more aware of it.
Yeah.
We become more aware of, you know, why is there all this unnecessary, you know, suffering?
Yeah. And it does seem that there is an awakening in process as well. I see that myself. I don't know what the speed of it is or the rapidity of the awakening is, but it's definitely happening, and it's increasing exponentially.
Well, you know, for those who don't know, the word Buddha means awakening.
All right. All right.
It's like an epithet given to this man in India named Siddhartha Gautama who woke up and or was himself an awakener,
right,
who taught about the awakened capacity of all things. You know, he said, what I did, you can do too, because the seeds of awakening are everywhere and within everyone.
Well, Gary, with that, I think that's a good place to segue off into finding out more about where people can reach you on your website, because we're out of time.
Never enough. And it happens slow and fast. Word.to is my website, word.to. Okay. And I will be present in the Zany Mystic Yahoo group,
which is called Awakening Cosmic Consciousness.
That's right.
Well, Gary, thank you so much for being on the show and writing such an incredibly wonderful book and sharing your wisdom and your insights with us. I'm absolutely thrilled to talk to you.
Lance, it's mutual, and thank you.
All right. And thank all the listeners. I love you all. And good night, Gary. Good night to all the listeners. Have a great...
Good night, all, and be well.
Okay. Bye-bye.